There's a few settings in this game that I think are the most important, and if you're not running these settings properly, you're probably not doing yourself a favor. And I'm going to get into these. I'm going to go into a lot of them, but the first place I want to go is the interface. A lot of people ignore the interface. It's probably one of the most important areas to go in terms of actual settings. So we got all this place here, but we're going to skip all of this. We don't really need this anything, but we'll just go over to gameplay HUD. Now, in the gameplay HUD, you're going to want to set your minimap to square. It's pretty important, but it's not the worst, right? The reason you want it on square is because if you have a round minimap, you're missing all those corners. You're not going to see as much as you need. You want rotation on and you want radar off. If you turn radar on, you see all those little buildings and stuff. You're not going to see that. You're just going to see a white map with your arrow on it. So you don't want that for sure. And then the compass type, you want to set it to minimap rather than the top of your screen. I don't know about you guys. I just feel like the top of the screen is a waste of space. I feel like I barely even look at it, to be honest. And I'd rather just look at the minimap in one little area to get an idea of where enemies are than looking all over the place to get ideas. We already got to look at the kill feed. We got to look at the minimap. Why add an extra layer, right? Did you guys know that you can unlock every single mastery camo for every single weapon in Black Ops 6 super quick? That mods offers multiplayer ball lobbies, nuke calling cards, dark matter camo, literally prestige boosts, everything you could think of. The abyss camo, tiger camo, nebula, whatever you guys want, max weapon level, pre-made accounts, everything you guys need to max out Call of Duty Black Ops 6. They have, and they even have a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. So they got the best reviews possible, super trustworthy company, and you guys could even use code Nick to save yourself up to $100. Next off, we got the crosshair. This is something a lot of people ask me. How do I have a center dot? How do I have a different color dot? It's right here, guys. All right, the crosshair center dot, you're going to want to open that up. You're going to set it to this. All right, so I think default it's off, or default it's on, but what you really want to focus on is either static or center dot. Static is going to leave it so that it doesn't bounce all over the place as you're running. It's in the center of your screen, it doesn't move. Center dot is the best in my opinion. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to set it to the largest. You don't want it larger, you don't want it default, you want it nice and big, and this is so that you could get that dot onto the enemy before you ADS. You could snap on enemies a lot easier. It's really important. And then for the opacity, you're going to set it to 100, and the crosshair color, this is where you could come and change it and stuff. You could set it to whatever you want. I'm gonna recommend yellow or like a purple or something like that. The reason you want those colors is because, well, purple, for one, there's not many maps that have anything that's naturally purple on them, so it's going to be hard for people to or for you to miss enemies and stuff. And yellow also is good because that's what your brain looks at right away. Yellow is one of those colors that your brain sees first, so you can set it to one of those. But yellow, you also got to remember there's like the sun and stuff on the maps and whatnot, but it is what it is. After, we're going to go into audio. Again, pretty important, and what we're going to do here is we're just going to go over to the master game volume. We're going to set it up to 100, and then these two right here are probably the most important ones. The effects volume, you want it set to 100 as well. This is footsteps, gunshots, everything you need to listen for is going to be right here, and then dialogue volume over at 100. Now, I also play I think, yeah, here it is right here, Sucker Punch. All right, I used to play bass boost all the time, but Sucker Punch, man, this is tighter dynamic sounds. All right, so tighter dynamic range. You're gonna hear everything louder. Those footsteps when someone runs in water, even if they got ninja on and you can't hear them, if they run in water, you will hear it with this. If there's people that are shooting and stuff, a suppressed weapon, you're going to hear it nice and clear with this right here, and it'll show you, especially if you have like a good headset that has all ranges, not just I think it's mono. I don't know what it's called. I'm not that good at audio, but if you have a headset that could show you where people are coming from, front, back, top, bottom, whatever it is, Sucker Punch is what you want to run. Now we're going to go into graphics, and there's something pretty important here, and that's the brightness. All right, so many people throw the brightness up to 100. You do not want to do that. The game is going to look washed out. I'm being serious, guys. It's going to look washed out. It's going to look ugly, and if you put it too low, the game is going to be really dark. If you look into buildings and stuff, you won't see enemies. So you got to find the right number for you. For me, on my screen, it's actually 60. That barely visible needs to actually be barely visible, and you should be good. Then we're going to go over to view, and from here, you're going to set your field of view. I personally like 100. All right, I'm not going to tell you guys to set this to something that I use or something. For example, like if you guys like 120, by all means play on 120, but the enemies will seem further. It'll be harder to snap on them if you do play that high, and then if you play too low, you're going to miss out a lot of your screen. You're not going to see people on the left, on the right. You're not going to see much of that. I think 100 is the perfect number, maybe up to like 105 or something. I find that perfect. And then you want to play ADS field of view affected. All right, affected, pretty much what it says right here is ADS zooms to a value closer to the field of view setting. So if you're playing on 80 or something, for example, and you set this to affected, actually, let me just go into the firing range. Let me just show you guys exactly what I'm talking about so you could have an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, so Let's go to the settings. We're going to go to affected. We're going to set it to 100, which is what I normally play on. And now we're going to just basically just aim down sights. And you guys are going to see that it's going to bring it closer to 100, right? But if I go over to settings, set it to independent, and then we aim down sights, it brings everything closer in. Now, I used to say to do this a lot, but this is what I'm going to recommend. If you're bad at aiming, set it to independent. It's going to bring everything closer into your screen. And if you're playing on like a field of view, I should say, at like 80 or something, and then you ADS, it's not going to do too much. But if you're playing at 100 and then you set it and you ADS, it's going to bring it in closer to the regular field of view. So that's really good if you're bad at aiming. But once you get good, once you get really good at aiming, that's where I'm going to recommend putting it to affected. I'm playing at affected at the moment, but independent until you get good is probably the most important thing. And then weapon field of view doesn't really matter. You can set it to default, narrow, wide. Doesn't really matter. I used to say this one's really important. Honestly, it's just whatever you like, all right? Now I'm going to say weapon motion blur is also important to have on. World motion blur off 100% of the time, but weapon motion blur on is good, because if your weapon is kind of blurry, you're not really focusing on it. It's not really the main thing on your screen. Your brain is going to automatically focus on the enemies and stuff like that, but if you do turn it off and stuff, it's still focused in really nicely. Your brain's not going to, like, think of it this way. You look at a picture where there's somebody in focus and then everything else is out of focus. What's the first thing you notice in that picture? The thing that's in focus. So make sure that you put your weapon out of focus so you can see the world a lot easier. It just tricks your brain, right? It's really not that important, I'll be honest with you guys, but we're gonna leave it on or off. I'm recording, so I leave it off when recording, but it is what it is. Next off, we're gonna go into the controller settings, and this is probably the most important stuff. I play with L3 and R3 as my jump and my prone buttons, all right? The reason I've set these like this is so that I do not ever have to take my fingers off my controllers. I use just a regular controller, no back paddles, nothing like that. I do use control freaks. If you guys want to use control freaks, these little things right here that you extend onto your joystick, you guys could use code ITSNICK12 and save yourself 12% when purchasing those. The reason I recommend control freaks, and I'll always recommend them even if they stop sponsoring me one day or stop giving me an affiliate link, they're just good. They extend your range and your actual, I guess, I don't know how to say it, like I barely have to move it and you guys can see that it's activating in game and stuff. So I can make so many adjustments to my accuracy just with a control freak on. It's really nice. I just honestly like it a lot. I've even used it before I got sponsored by them. After that, I'm gonna say sensitivity, but this is gonna be you guys, all right? I can't tell you what to play on. You gotta find something that's nice for you. I'm gonna recommend something that's not too fast and something that's not too slow, because you want to be able to turn on people fast enough, but you don't want to overshoot your shots or over aim your aim, I guess. So just set it to something you guys like. And then controller vibration off, all right, man? Turn that off. You do not want this thing vibrating as you're shooting, because if it's vibrating, your thumb is vibrating with it, you're missing some shots. It's just not good in my opinion. And then dead zones, I play at 5 on my left stick. This is this one right here. The reason I play on 5 on this one is because I do have some stick drift, so if I put it down to 0, I can't. My character is going to move automatically in game. So I set it to 5. It is what it is. And then left stick max 45, so that when I'm actually running in game, I don't have to push it all the way up for it to activate. I also have tactical sprint set to on, like automatic tactical sprint. I have that set on, so the minute I push this up just even a little bit, I'm going to be sprinting, and that's what I like, honestly. And then right stick minimum, I'm at 6 right now. That's this one again right here. If you have that set to 0, which a lot of people think is what you need to set it to, don't do that, all right? If you have it set to 0 and you just move just slightly, just very slightly in the game, your accuracy is going to fight against aim assist. The aim assist is going to be very weak. It's not worth it. So if you're really good at holding this still in a gunfight and using your left stick for rotational aim assist instead, your aim assist is going to be super sticky. So you're going to want to set that for sure. And then right stick max, I have it set to 99. I think 100 is the same. Like, I think the value stops at 99 anyways. So we'll just set it to whichever. It doesn't really matter. In aiming, I'm going to go into aiming advanced settings. And then from here, I play on gradual. I'm going to say if you're really good at snapping on people, if you could get that center dot on enemies before you begin to ADS, set it to instant. You'll be good. But if you are the type that ADSs and you're still adjusting your accuracy as you're ADSing, set it to gradual. It's gonna be really nice. And then we got linear on, and I play on linear at 80. My aim response curve type at 0.80. It's just really good. And then my custom sensitivity per zoom, I'm playing at 0.90 right now. I just think it's really good. That's for like the iron sights and the basic sights and stuff like that. I just feel like it's really good. Now the reason I changed this so when I ADS it doesn't bring it in fully in the screen is because Well, my accuracy is pretty good. I'm pretty good at aiming and stuff, and I still want to see a lot of field of view when I'm aiming down sights. So that's the reason I set it to this. But if your aiming is bad, like I said, man, put it to independent, and it's gonna bring the character closer into your screen, so it's gonna be easier for you guys to hit. But that's gonna be it for the video, man. If you guys did enjoy it, I gotta say, like, yo, honestly, thank you guys for all the support, man. I don't say it enough. I feel like I don't say it enough, but I do want to thank you guys for the support. I want to take this time to say it. I took a pretty big risk in life. I dropped out of school. I did YouTube and stuff like that, and I have to say, like, it's paying the bills. It's doing great. It's obviously it's doing something. It's not where I'd like it to be, but because of you guys, you've enabled me to do something that I dreamed of doing, and I want to say thank you. I don't say it enough. I don't know, something, I woke up today and I had to be thankful, you know. Yeah, if you ever do want to support me more, I do have memberships. It's not mandatory, but it would be appreciated. We do got some members on the channel. I don't bring it up much, but the ones who have been members for months, I've actually had one of my longest members is going on 2 years now. I got to say thank you guys for all the extra support. It's like I said, it's not mandatory, it's not needed, but it's truly appreciated. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for those of you who like the videos, comment on the videos, all that kind of stuff. It really does it makes me feel good, you know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It makes me feel like I didn't just waste away, because I should have probably went to school. Let's be honest. I should have done a lot of stuff. I should have done a lot of stuff in life, but I chased this instead. And it's not perfect. And if any of you guys out there are chasing YouTube as a dream, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's tough. It's tough, man. There's gonna be some months where it's just down, and there's gonna be some months where it's really good, and it really eats at you. It really eats at you. But at the end of the day, man, I'm thankful. I'm super thankful. It's good. It's good. I gotta say, thank you guys. I'm gonna end the video here. I wanted to just leave that at the end for those of you guys who do watch this far. I don't know. I feel like I'm just yapping right now. But yeah, let's end it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Drop a like on this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.